So, were you in communication with your wife? I don't call her like a pseudo wife or whatever, because I know you guys had real love or whatever. But like, was this like? Sorry,
we had real love or whatever.
Wait, do you?
I know you guys love each other, but you guys weren't into marriage.
Yes,
you guys did it.
Pseudo wife. I like where your head's at. I respect.
I feel like a big jerk.
No, pseudo wife is great.
Also, is she still with that other guy? Or?
Me and my buddy, we making all of this money. Yeah, I know it's rude to be bragging. They never catching us slacking. Me and my buddy.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Table One podcast. We have a co-host over here named Arthur Parman.
Hello.
Sorry. I'm Justin Young, and today with us is TJ Reid. I imagine you prefer TJ over Terrence. I know like your X or Twitter or whatever says Terrence, but like I was like, I thought his name was TJ the whole time.
Yeah, I go by TJ mostly, and I grew up only TJ. So Terrence was something like when I started to get into any sort of professional setting, I'm like, I should probably ditch the TJ and let's start go by Terrence, but it never stuck. And eventually when somebody becomes friends with me, they just start calling me TJ. So there's a few people in my life and I don't mind it. The only thing I'll shut down is Terry.
Oh,
if you call me Terry, we're going to have a problem. But Terrence and TJ are both good.
I feel like you have to be a large black man to pull off Terry.
All right, welcome to the podcast, Mr. Terry.
What does the J stand for? Is it a middle name?
That's a middle name. It's Joseph. So I actually have two middle names, me and my brother both. My parents were just crazy drunks. Terrence Joseph Leonard Reid is my full name. So that hence why I went by TJ for so long when I was younger. But my brother, he's going to hate me if he sees this. His name is Thaddeus Alexander Bartholomew.
Oh, my God.
Reid.
I really hope this is a large human. Otherwise, he would have gotten beat up a lot.
Well, there's lots of reasons he didn't. For one, we were homeschooled, which helped out a lot with that. But his first name, we call him Alex. It's just the easiest.
Sure, why not?
But my favorite story about that is he was 15 years old and went to take his driver's license test. And like he starts to sit down, take it. You can't talk to anybody, right? Yeah. And the moderator, he looks up at my mom and starts to ask her something. And my mom starts to answer. The moderator's like, no communication. He's like, but nothing. And he goes, I don't know how to spell my first name, which is the first question on the test. He didn't know if he had one or two D's in Thaddeus because he had never used it. And we were homeschooled.
That is solid.
In a room full of his peers.
I think they should be allowed to just take away your driver's license if you don't know how to spell your name. But that's just, maybe that's a personal preference that I have. I don't know.
Thankfully, he's a pretty good driver.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right. Older or younger brother?
He's younger, 3 years younger. I'm 38. He's 35. Just the two of us.
I got you. Did you, be honest, because I'm a younger brother, did you pick on him? Because a homeschool, it's got to be tough. Like,
yeah, I mean, no. We were very competitive with each other. We played games with each other, but we treated each other well. He was the troublemaker compared to the two of us. I was the golden child.
Of course. With those names, how could he not be?
Starting off bitter with life.
Is he going to watch this, by the way? Hi. Hey, Thaddeus Bartholomew.
Thaddeus.
Alexander, whatever your name is.
When we really wanted to mess with him, Thaddeus Alexander Bartholomew, we'd call him Thad Albert. And he hated it.
I could see why.
Where'd you guys grow up?
Southeast Missouri. So 2 hours south of St. Louis, right on the Mississippi River in Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Cape Girardeau.
Normally
sounds fancy.
It sounds.
I promise you that.
How do you have a cape in the middle of the United States? Okay. You mentioned playing board games with your brother. Feed me some of the games you guys played, and did the whole family play as well? Yeah,
whole family. We were big on games. I mean, so we grew up in like a very religious household, and so we didn't do a lot of fun stuff. But board games were like the wholesome family activity. And we played a lot of basic games back then, like, Life, Monopoly, Risk, Scrabble, a lot of card games, Uno, Hearts, Spades, all of that sort of stuff. Just, good, wholesome family fun.
It is, but like when you say simple, they're not simple. Those are like, I think, key strategy games to like kind of building blocks to like maybe what you're doing now, but I don't know. But I do think like the more you get into the games or whatever, the more you kind of find niches of like, why does dad always win? And there's like, okay, let's watch what dad's doing and kind of figure it out. Yeah,
for sure. That was exactly how it happened. My dad won most of the time until I got older, and then I won most of the time because I was the one picking at the games, learning the games, teaching the games, and then crushing the games. It was a cycle where everyone hated me always because you hate the guy that's teaching the games because they're trying to like be the rules guy, and then you hate them when they beat you. So it's like, yeah, I got to start picking some games where we play together or something.
And it must have stuck because you just said when you came in here, this is being filmed right before the WSOP, but you said you had a little pre-party with board games with the boys and girls before.
Yeah, I got a suite out at Resorts World, and we hit a liquor store and a board game store before, and then just invited a bunch of people, industry people, players, and just like, I know everyone's just flying in and jet lagged and whatever, but if you want to come, just hang out, have some good times, stress-free before the event. So we played like 4 or 5 party games. Played a game that I really like called Wits and Wagers. You played it?
Yeah.
It's a trivia betting game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really fun.
It has some flaws. You have to add a button or something.
All right, guys, quick break from the podcast. Just want to talk to you guys a little bit about Phenom Poker. There's a lot of new things coming up and going on right now. Chinese poker is new on the market right now. Lots of different variants. In addition, MTTs are back up and running with a lot going on.
That's right. And if you use code TABLE1, you can actually get a 150% deposit bonus up to $3,000. And it's never been easier to get on. You can go directly from your bank account to Coinbase to on, or if you're familiar and comfortable with USDT wallets, it's easier than ever. So come play with us.
Hey, come get that rake back.
Sweet Table 1 rake back. Back to the show.
You had because of
because everyone puts their stuff down at the same time, and you can kind of like choose where you put your thing or whatever based on what you see.
You got to play with the timer though, and you got to hold people to that timer, because otherwise people are trying to these poker people are trying to game theory this thing. It's a fun family trivia game, and then this guy's over here calculating the bet size.
Well, I haven't played it in probably like 10 years, but I remember when we tried to play it, either we read the rules wrong or we were like, well, why don't I just like wait until the last second on the timer when I see what this guy puts down in this spot and what they're betting on. I don't know. For those that don't know, it's like a felt game where you pick the odds or something like that, right? You have to like, I don't know. Never mind. We hate the guy explaining the rules. On to poker.
We'll edit that out. All right. So you did mention you were raised in a very religious household. First things first, like was there any kind of wagering even like allowed there during some of your games or whatever, like pretzels or pennies or anything like that?
I mean, I guess we do non-monetary stuff, sure. Just to keep track of, like, keep score when it was necessary. But no, wagering, gambling was absolutely against the rules. Okay. Yeah, nothing
that would emotionally hurt a child. Like what
naming somebody Thaddeus?
Yeah, they did enough damage. One of my earlier game memories is like we had game night every Friday night. We'd get pizza. And we'd play board games, and Tripoli was one of our favorite ones. I know I'm super old, but one of it's like there's like a poker hand involved, and like we played with real pennies instead of the little chips instead. And I remember I got dealt quad deuces, and like you had to separate your hand for like a poker hand, and then like whatever bullshit or discards or I can't remember, but I mixed them up, and like I was just raising, re-raising. Like I was just like, I'm quad deuces. This is the easiest thing in the world. And like, I think it was my dad. He finally was like, okay, I just call this time, even though I was literally out of pennies because and he's like, I have a full house. And I was like, 4 deuces. And I was like, it was like Jack 4, 7. And like, he's just like, that's not deuces, Justin. We might take you to a special class tomorrow. And I was like, no. And I reached for like my discard pile and I was like, I had deuces. And my dad, he was a great man, but he was like, them the rules. Ship me those pennies.
This was the original Jack Forehand.
I tried to bluff my dad off 2 pennies at a time off of boat. Didn't work out.
And in the moment, did you respect that he held you to the bet, or did you want your money back?
I definitely cried. I went to my room and cried profusely, but I certainly didn't expect the money back. I remember like just being mad at myself. Like it wasn't. Kind of like poker with me now. Like, you know, when I never get mad at the person that beats me. I only get mad at myself for playing like an idiot sometimes. That's about it. All right. Sorry. That was my little diatribe of my childhood.
No, you're right. A lot of Justin-shaped holes in the wall happened at the RAS.
But it's all the anger is always directed inward, not outward. So this seems like a kind of a tough transition if, your parents were religious and gambling wasn't really a thing. So I don't want to jump too far ahead, but like, how did poker even like get on the radar besides like the obvious of like just loving games and competition?
Man, I've told this story. It's a long story that I can get pretty short because you have to go back to when I was a Jehovah's Witness. I was a Jehovah's Witness, by the way, and I'm super open about this. So any questions are fine. But I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, as a homeschooled, very sheltered Jehovah's Witness. And did all the right things, golden child, like I said. And then when I was 19, I applied to go to Bethel, which is the world headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses in Brooklyn, New York. Southeast Missouri kid, never been out of the state, like to live anywhere else. And I applied and I got in, which was like super rare privilege in that world.
Right.
Like 0.1% who apply get in. And moved. For one, I just wanted to get out of Missouri. It was an excuse to leave the family for a good reason that they would support and they couldn't say no to. Kind of a rough family environment at the time. My dad was a abusive alcoholic who just didn't treat my mom very well and didn't really ever turn it to me because I didn't let it bother me, but I knew things were bad. And so I wanted out. And I went up to New York City. And I still believed everything that they had taught me at the time, which eventually changed. I believed everything I was doing, but I started living a double life when I was there, doing things you're not allowed to do. I was drinking. First gambling I ever did, I took the Greyhound bus from New York City out to Atlantic City. Mm-hmm. And you kind of, when you get away from all your family and friends and you're by yourself and you know nobody, that's when you want to try stuff. And I gambled for the first time. First of all, I wore a suit to the casino. I had no idea what casino etiquette was.
Well, this is Atlantic City we're talking about.
Full
it's classy,
a very classy establishment in the 2000s in Atlantic City. And my goal that weekend was to drink, to gamble for the first time, and to have sex for the first time.
Ooh.
21 years old. I had 3 goals. 2 out of 3. I drank and I gambled.
No gambling, huh? Oh, sorry.
But I literally Googled a list of the top 20 alcoholic cocktails and worked my way down in the worst way possible. Beer, wine, margarita, white Russian, tequila, like all the way down on the boardwalk up and down. I got so drunk. It was the first time I've ever got drunk, first time I throw it up in my life. It was horrible. And then the next day was the gambling portion of the activities. And executed every gambler's fallacy you can ever imagine as this person who thought he was smart, watching the roulette table. First of all, I got paid $113 a month as a stipend. That was all. I took a vow of poverty when I moved up there.
Mm-hmm.
I was a full-time volunteer, $113 a month just for necessary expenses. So it took me about 6 months to save up $300.
You were pigeonholing the money for this trip.
Yes, exactly.
That's fantastic. All right.
And because they paid for our room and boards. We didn't have to pay for housing in New York City or food or anything. But still, we didn't make any money and we weren't allowed to. So I take $300 out to Atlantic City and I'm watching the roulette wheel. When it hits 5 of a certain color, I bet the other color. Mm-hmm. And then I'm playing basic roulette strategy at like a 6 to 5, $10 minimum table. And somehow I run that $300 up to like $750 over the course of that weekend playing those 2 games.
Oh, there is a God, I think.
Which I think was the most money I had ever owned in my life at this point, probably. And I don't think I talked to any girls unless they were wearing a casino uniform. And took that money back to New York City. But the thing is, you can't tell anybody. Mm-hmm. No family, no friends. So all these experiences that I'm having, gambling and dating and drinking and stuff, no one knows. 0 people. And I like to say, like this. Besides wagering money, this is the first time I'm gambling. When you're living a double life, everything's at stake. Because if you get caught doing any of this stuff, you lose your family and your friends. Because they're a cult. They're a high-pressure society where they will disown you. And I have no money to my name, no career. If I get kicked out of here and lose my family and friends, like my life is over as far as I thought.
That's a big first gamble. I mean,
yeah. But it was worth it. I wanted to live life. I wanted to start experiencing things, but I wanted to have my cake and eat it too. I didn't want to leave. I wanted the security and I wanted my friends, but I wanted to do all this stuff. Yeah.
So when you came back with the $750, since you can't really let it be known how you got the money, like it doesn't make, like you're there for 6 months, you get paid $113. Math doesn't math to get to the $750. Like, did you have to like hide it under your pillow or like?
I was going to say, which verse in the Bible did you cut out so you could stick it in there?
I think it was top sock drawer.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was really checking finances or anything like that. I had a checking account, but I didn't use money. Like, it wasn't something I even worried about. Literally, that cash was just for like weekends out and dates and gambling. Because I hit that trip 3 or 4 times over the course of my time there.
Okay, gotcha. So when you're at Bethel, is it a pretty regimented thing to study, or could you navigate like certain focuses or whatever?
No, there was very little study. It wasn't about the Bible.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they encouraged that, and it was very like they wanted you to be up on your stuff and to study, but it was about work. You go there as a full-time volunteer. This is the headquarters of the operations for their worldwide corporation. Mm-hmm. And you don't know what you're going to do when you go use volunteer to do anything. First year, I was sent to building services, which is like cleaning and security. And then the next 2 years, I was in the night crew, working from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. And 3 years of that before I got kicked out eventually because some of this stuff caught up to me.
Oh, well, let's talk about that.
It's one of the most awkward moments of my life. So again, with all these stakes in play, I start dating people. And the first date I ever went on was a Craigslist date. And I showed up, wearing a suit, obviously, as one does.
Rode him on his bicycle.
to a movie. Watched a movie with this girl, which is a terrible first date idea. But she has no idea this is my first date ever, and I'm a virgin, and I'm showing up wearing a suit, and I work it for Jehovah's Witnesses.
21, 22?
I think I'm 21 at this point.
21, yeah. And do you remember the movie?
I think it was Avatar.
Okay, cool. All right.
I think it was Avatar.
I'm setting the mood right
now.
Yeah,
we see Avatar. By the way,
dim the lights.
She loves it. She loves that I'm in a suit. She has no idea why, but like, it's the cutest thing ever to her. The date goes really well. And I'm like, dating's easy. This is wonderful. Yeah, Craigslist works out, obviously. This is the way this is how you get dates. This is pre-dating apps, right? And then what actually caught up to me is I started watching porn at New York, which you cannot do.
Oh.
And they have an intranet, which is an internal internet, and all their stuff is monitored, all your safe search words and everything. But I worked for IT up there for a little bit, and I knew what they were looking for, and I knew what their system was. So I spoke Spanish, and I speak Spanish. So I start Googling all these dirty things in Spanish so that they won't catch me. And I get away with it for a couple years. But then I just get lazy. And a psychiatrist will tell you that I wanted to get caught. Like I start slipping up, not caring as much. And so then I started Googling stuff in English. I'm like, well, I got away with this long. I'm never going to get caught. And then one night after my nighttime security gig, 8 a.m, I get a message from these two elders, which are like higher up in the church. They're like, can you meet with us this morning? And when an elder has to meet with you, it's either very good or very bad. Like they're giving you more responsibilities, promotion, or you're in deep shit. And when you're doing all this shady stuff, that you're just assuming, what did they find out about?
Yeah.
Like which
I haven't exactly putting in extra hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I didn't know the Spanish word for rim job. Okay.
Didn't even know you knew what that meant. So they call me in there. I'm in this square white room with one table and 3 chairs. 2 chairs on one side of it is them. 160 years combined between the two of these old white guys. And they sit me down and they go, Brother Reid, you know what this is? And they slide this stack of papers in front of me. My search history laid out on these papers with everything I've Googled over the last 6 months or whatever. Like they've been the cops building a case against me. And I sit in there looking at it, and like I'm sure my face just goes red, and I deny everything. I have no idea what that is. And they have the smoking gun, but they can't prove it's me because it just was Googled from my room.
Sure.
Right. But it's been over the last 6 months. Like it's me. Like, they know the answer. I'm like, that's never seen those words before in my life. And they say, you know what? It's late. You worked all day. Why don't you go home, get some rest, pray about it, and then come back and talk to us at 6 p.m. tonight? So like the worst day of sleep of my life. I don't sleep an hour, I think. Go back down there at 6 p.m. and confess to everything. Yeah, it was me. I'm so sorry. Like it's been rough. And this was not an uncommon occurrence at a place with 3,000 single men in their early 20s. Like they dealt with this. And it wasn't an automatic kick you out. Usually, but if it was like a one-time thing and then you confess to them, then you'll probably be all right.
Sure.
But if you get caught like this and it's a habit, then you're probably gone. And
6 months, yeah, and you denied it.
And yeah, exactly. So it's like a 1 week period where they take the case to their judicial committee is what they called, and I'm just sweating it out. Don't tell anybody yet still, and everyone's wondering what's going on because I've been taking off my shifts and stuff. And then they call me back down like, yeah, you got to get out of here as soon as possible.
Did your parents know in real time, or
they knew that night when they told me I had to get out of here? Like I had no choice. I had to call my parents.
Sure, but like, did they know the previous week or whatever when you got? Okay,
I wasn't going to tell them until I had.
Sure, yeah.
Had you built up any kind of a bankroll over this time?
By the way, this started a question about poker. I still haven't played poker yet.
Yeah, no, I mean this is more gambling than I think I've ever done in my life. So yeah you're fine.
So I call my mom and my dad, and I like tearful outbursts, tell them like I'm getting kicked out of Bethel. This is again, they think I'm the golden child. I've never done anything wrong. They don't know any of these things are happening. So I confess or I tell them what happened and as few details as possible. And then they're like, of course you can come home. Like, we'll figure it out. So within a week, I was back in Missouri, and had to tell my friends at Bethel what happened. I just tell them like I messed up. I got to go home. And then just everything gets taken from you at the same time. And I'm not excommunicated. They call it disfellowshipping. But I'm the next step, which is what they call judicially reproved. And they announce it from every church that I'm involved with. And so I go home, I'm with my family, we're sitting in the row, and I know it's coming. And a Tuesday night with 100 of my closest family and friends who've known me since I was a kid, they go after the announcements that they do in the middle of the meeting, they go, and one more announcement, Brother Terrence Reid has been judicially reproved. They don't tell you. They don't tell them what you did.
Sure.
But basically, it's a sin bad enough that you could have been disfellowshipped, but because you were repentant, you were not. So you're still allowed to be a member of the church. But now everybody knows you messed up. You did something wrong. Everyone looks at you sideways. You're not getting invited to anything anymore. And I just, in that moment, finally, when everything was ripped from me and I didn't really have anything left to pretend for, I finally allowed myself to do I really believe this? Like, is this really what I want to do? And over the next 6 months, also at the same time, I moved my mom and my brother out of the house to get away from my dad finally. So we're dealing with that too. And tell her to pack a bag, tell my brother to pack a bag. One day when my dad's gone, we leave and get a job, and they get jobs. And so over that next 6 months to a year, when I'm dealing with all that stuff, we're dealing with this too. And then finally they get on their feet, they get happy, get them in a pretty good, safe place. And I started working for Starbucks, and they offered me a promotion, but I had to move up to St. Louis. So again, I had an out, had a way to get out, but I was still only going to be 2 hours from them, and moved away. Up in St. Louis, completely cut off all contact with all Jehovah's Witnesses. Had my publisher cards transferred to a congregation up there, but just never went. Mm-hmm. And then soft faded away. So if I stayed in Cape and I stopped going, they come around, they knock on the door, they're worried about you, they want you to come back, whatever. It was a perfect opportunity to just disappear off the face of the earth. That's what I did.
What an origin story.
Yeah.
I mean, holy
this
shit.
Is fantastic. Just more curious, I guess. How'd your mother kind of take you kind of fading away? Like, I don't know how involved she was in the church at all or whatnot. Was she kind of happy that you were going off and doing your own thing, went to St. Louis, or I don't know. I mean, obviously she missed you. I'm not saying that, but was she kind of like shoving you out the door, or was she trying to keep you, wanted to keep you around?
She was always supportive of me in anything I wanted to do, but definitely not supportive of me leaving the church.
Okay.
They were all super involved, less so now, which is nice. But they were all super involved still. And so every conversation, I started ignoring my family as well. Like, my mom was worried about me and stuff, but I just couldn't. I just ghosted them for a while as well, which I regret. But I needed the space. I needed to be able to figure shit out on my own. But then, once that changes and, I tell them, explain why I was distant and stuff. Every conversation we had after that was, kind of predicated on the fact that she wanted me to come back. Like, that, what it felt like is like, we miss you. We want you to come back, please. Eventually, a few years in, I was like, Mom, I'm never coming back. I don't believe this. I understand that you do. I grew up in this. I don't hold it against you. But if the only relationship you want is based on me coming back, then that's not a real relationship, and I don't want it. So set that hard boundary, and eventually things got better. Right. It was rough for like a year, all of my 20s, pretty much. It was rough. But they eventually, so my mom divorced my dad, which was not allowed unless there was adultery, unless he cheated. So even though abuse and manipulation and drunkenness and all these things are happening, she divorces him, and then she gets in trouble with the church. So
I'm having a hard time with this without saying some very mean things right now about religion. Okay.
Yeah. Should we drink to that?
Yeah.
To clean breaks? TJ came in with a nice little bottle here.
Oh, fuck yeah. All right. Yeah.
I'll let you pour so I don't have to.
It's my first time pouring, guys. Hold on.
I believe in you. So yeah, we
all right, so here, while I pour, I'm going to ask you a question. So how was your relationship with your brother during this time too? And I promise, guys, we're going to get into poker.
Yeah,
I promise. But this is very interesting to me, so I have to continue down this. Because he's 3 years younger, so he's basically living through what you lived through 3 years prior. And I know you said he was more of the trouble child, but... Sorry.
I say trouble child. He was a good kid. He would just... He didn't put up with my dad's stuff as well as I did, and they butted heads a lot. And he wasn't, I don't know. I was very good at being fake and like a people pleaser and saying what people wanted to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And he, to his credit, was not that person. He was his own self, and he was able to tell people how he actually felt. And because of that, him and my dad did not get along at all.
Did he stay with the church though while he was
yeah, during this time, both of them have kind of like stopped going now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cheers, by the way.
Cheers, yeah. Thank you. This is really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for SNP for sponsoring this drink. Sorry.
Oh, it's good.
That's nice.
Yeah, so he's still in, but they take it much less seriously and kind of also have faded away like I did, but they're both still in Cape.
All right.
So you're in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Working your way up the Starbucks food train.
You're crushing the bucks.
Yep. And I have a bunch of jobs throughout my 20s. I work for Starbucks. I work for a board game cafe. I work for a sushi restaurant as a bartender. I bartended for like 4 years. And then throughout this time, I'm trying to figure out just how to make a living. And so it's a lot of retail jobs and service industry jobs because I have no career, no college education. Jehovah's Witnesses discourage college education, as so many do. Just trying to survive, basically. And while I work at this sushi restaurant as a bartender and then a manager, one of our server assistants, his name's Sean Flam, shout out Sean, in St. Louis, was a poker player. And I was interested, right? Obviously, I had my casino adventures a couple years prior. So he's like, yeah, come on out. So we go to St. Louis Casino, Lumiere Place, which is down on the riverboat in St. Louis. And I'm playing some other games because we go with a group. So we're playing roulette and blackjack, the games I know. But then I go sit down at the 1-3 table. First time ever playing a live hand of poker.
Wow. All right.
I sit down. I know I short by. I don't remember how much. And the very first hand I peel is aces. In 1-3. Like in 1-3. I'm pretty sure that's pretty good. Like it's very obvious I have no idea what I'm doing. Like I know how to play poker somewhat, but I've never played, right? And I raise, and I remember somehow I start getting scared, and the guy tries to bluff me on the river and goes all in, and I don't even remember the board. I was like, I call, and he's like, oh, that was bad timing. He had nothing, and I won, and then I'm sure I stayed like 10 minutes and left. And
someone's calling.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Oh, this is my hand. It's not even a phone. I gotta go.
$100 was a big deal.
I agree.
And so that was my first experience playing live poker, and then I just picked Sean's brain all the time whenever we were at work together, just tried to learn. And then I started playing more and more, just on my own. He was pretty much my only resource until I started making some poker friends there. And over the next 5 years, throughout the latter half of my 20s, I started playing poker more and more and working less and less. And then I started tracking everything. I'm like, I'm making more money doing this than I am these other jobs. And so, yeah, poker was either a side hustle or the main source of income for a decent chunk of my 20s.
So was it mainly 1-3 at the local casino, or did you play online at all?
I never played online.
Okay.
I was only 1-3, 2-5, and an occasional shot take, bigger. But I was just a 1-3, 2-5 grinder, break even or slightly winning for most of that time as I got better and better. But it was almost exclusively cash and almost exclusively in St. Louis. I didn't travel. I'd never been to Vegas. Didn't really play tournaments except for like the weekend event that happened.
Sure, I saw it in 2016. I think I saw your first cash or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, yeah,
it was all cash.
But it been like, I think the next cash was like 3 or 4 years later or something.
Yeah.
Like that. But all right. So how is the bankroll going during this learning period? Enough to where you quit all your jobs, or were you just kind of fading out your hours?
Mostly fading out. As I bounced around from basically whenever I decided I didn't want that job anymore, I'd just start focusing on poker until I found something else. I definitely wasn't making enough money to support myself long term at the time. Like bankroll was probably maximum like $30K or something like that. But
that's still pretty good.
Yeah,
for, 1-3-2-5 shot takes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was happy. I was comfortable. I was supporting myself. I was paying the rent, but I wasn't making a ton of money. And,
sure.
I'm sure it was nice that you were used to kind of meager means. Like you weren't like,
good call.
Were you wanting for like lifestyle elevation or anything like that in that early stage? I
didn't even know what was possible. I just wanted a roof over my head and to be able to eat. You know what I mean? I grew up, I didn't know how poor we were, but we were poor, and I had no financial literacy at all. I didn't know what to do with money, even if I had it. So sure. It was just like, can I pay the rent? Can I buy groceries? And can I do some fun things now and then? But
what was the actual living situation when you were in St. Louis? The apartment by yourself, a roommate?
Apartment by myself was my first apartment, and I got kicked out of that apartment because I
searching up pornography again.
No. No, bounced a few checks unknowingly because someone was, my dad was paying for the apartment for a bit, try to make things better with us, and I didn't know that he had no money in that account. So, and that place had a new accountant, and they didn't discover it for like 6 months. So I thought everything was fine. And then they messaged me, hey.
And they sat you down and they laid out some papers.
And you denied the whole time.
I've never seen this. This time I meant it. And it was telling the truth. But they're like, you owe us 6 months back pay. So sorry. Can you pay us? I did not have the money to pay at the time. So they're like, here's your options. You can get on a payment plan. We'll work with you, but you got to pay this much every month, which was not in my budget. Right. And I tried for a bit. I'm like, I hate this apartment anyway. I'm out. And I moved in with a friend. And then from then on, it was mostly apartments. Never bought a house in St. Louis. Apartments, mostly with some roommates now and then throughout that time. Probably lived in 5 different places over the course of 8 years.
Well, as a guy that primarily, I would say 98%, at least when I was coming up, was a cash game guy. What was the tipping point? Was there a friend of yours did well, or did you accidentally do well in something, or
in a tournament tipping point to switch over?
Or I mean, not switch over, but kind of like introduce it more into your repertoire.
I didn't really consider that there was anything really different between tournament and cash. It was just like another way to play poker, and I just enjoyed cash more. And tournaments just weren't readily available. And the biggest tournament we ever ran in that area was like the 4th Saturday of a month. We ran a 300, and max win was like $9K. So it's just like there wasn't a lot of money there for me, and just the appeal of cash games, I was comfortable. So I didn't really understand that it was a different game entirely. And then I did play that 300. I think I won it for like $8K, $7,500, something like that. And I'm like, this is cool. Like that still wasn't enough.
Terms are stupid. Wait, I just won?
You guys are stupid that played it with me.
So I still didn't really know much about tournaments, and it wasn't really on my radar at the time. Actually, the time I switched was I moved from St. Louis to Idaho during COVID, and I went back to school up there, or went to college for the first time because I could go for $5 per credit at Idaho State University.
How was that deal worked out? That seems too good to be true.
Yeah, I followed a girl out there, and during COVID, she wasn't planning on dating anything long term. She was actually dating somebody else, and we met on OkCupid and really liked each other. And like she'll tell you, like 6 weeks in, I told her I love you, and then 3 months in, I told her to stop dating the other guy, and then 6 months in, she loses her place because the people she was living with wanted to have a kid, so they kick her out, and my lease runs out at the same time. We move in together, and then COVID hits. Immediately.
Wow.
So 6 months in, we move in, and then we're locked in together for a year.
That's a good way to get to know someone.
Yeah. So we had a year and a half, which again, even when we were dating, she was moving away. She's a doctor, so she was at medical school, and she knew she was moving away. So she told me up front, like, this isn't going to be a long-term thing. And then we decide, we spent a year together that felt like 4 years in a good way, and really got to know each other. So I felt comfortable following her across the country to her residency, which was in Pocatello, Idaho. Moved there with her for 3 years, and we weren't planning on getting married or anything. Neither one of us really wanted to, but we got a lot of benefits if we did, including of which $5 per credit, because the university was attached to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to school during that time. It gave me a COVID, just like poker wasn't happening, and I moved, and no poker was in Idaho. So that time I'm like, do I even want to keep doing this? Like, is poker what I want to do? Let me give myself some options. Let me diversify. Let me get a degree, and let me just take some time from poker.
So wait, you slipped it in there. Did you guys get tactically married so that you could get cheap credits? Okay.
Yeah.
On the slide. I think it's okay to say no.
I just kind of went over my head, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Tactically married is a good way to put it. And neither one of us was a big fan, or it wasn't a priority. So we were not looking forward to any sort of big wedding. And then COVID, and we had a wedding in our backyard with 9 people and a barbecue, like beers in a wheelbarrow. Like that was our wedding.
I like this girl too.
Yeah.
Sure. All right.
So that's after, and at the end, towards the end of that time, COVID's starting to lessen. And I was like, if I'm going to keep doing poker, I kind of want to just switch to tournaments. I kind of want to try this. Let's liven up my game. Let's try something new. And I started watching a lot of tournament coverage, and it was appealing to me. And I hadn't played much at all, so I was getting the itch. And I was like, I want to go to Vegas for the first time.
I was never ask, had you been? Yeah.
Never been to Vegas still. And so during one summer break, I drive to Vegas from Pocatello. It's like 12 hours or something.
It's a terrible drive too. I mean, it's pretty for the first bit, but then
Utah's beautiful, man. I don't know.
Actually, Northern Nevada might be the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, Nebraska has a strong argument.
Kansas, fair. I've done them all. Yeah.
So I go, and I'm like a kid in a candy store. When I see the Vegas skyline,
were you wearing a suit?
This time I finally got over the necessary suit.
Damn.
T-shirt and a jeans guy for most of my 30s.
How about in your backyard wedding? Did you have a suit?
I did wear a suit.
Hey,
no vest. My standards were even lower in my own wedding than a first date off Craigslist.
But you had a vest on for
the first date.
The full
yeah.
Hey, it's not just any movie; it's Avatar.
Thank you very much. IMAX Avatar. Thank you. Tickets were like $25 back then. And I at the time I was watching who I consider the OG vloggers like Owen and Nemi.
Sure.
And so I've seen these places like the Bellagio Poker Room, and this was just like the holy grail for me. So I remember feeling so just overwhelmed when I saw the Vegas skyline for the first time. Like, this is so cool. And I played a lot of cash while I was there, but then I dropped my bags, played some cash at Bellagio for the first time. And then the next day, the reason I went that this week, Venetian was running one of their series, like Deep Stack Poker Series. First tournament I ever hop in Vegas, and probably my 5th tournament lifetime. I play Venetian $400 2-day Deep Stack. And I remember sometime around level 5, I'm all in and I lose, and I'm left with, I thought I'm out the door, and they call me back, and I have one 1K chip at the 1K big blind level. And next hand I go all in, I make quad 9s. I proceed to go all in 4 times in a row and double through the same guy every time. And then I bust him. And he walks away and he says, "You better win this damn tournament."
I shouldn't have called your ass back.
Yeah, exactly. And then I bag the chip lead on day 1, and I come back and go wire to wire, and I win on day 2. And so that's like 36K or something like that.
Yeah.
Biggest score ever. And I just put it in my backpack. And now I'm in Vegas for the first time for a week with 36K. I didn't expect to have. I think I left Vegas with like 30 of that 36K, which was pretty
Good job.
So, where were you staying? Because I think I always find it interesting the first time people go to Vegas where they choose to stay without any real knowledge of where they should stay.
This was, I think, New York, if I remember right.
Okay.
I think I stayed at New York at the time.
That's very reasonable. Mine was Imperial Palace, for what it's worth.
It might have been, actually, I think I checked into Oyo first.
Okay, there you go.
Or I don't even know if that's how you say that. OYO.
Yeah. I didn't even know it was
Hooters.
like a booby symbol until very, very recently. My wife had to tell me. She's like, I was like, I don't know, like the old Hooters. Now that's Oyo, whatever that means. She's like, that means boobs. I was like, why?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that till you just told me that.
Yeah,
just look at it on your phone. Type in O.
Yeah, cleavage and boobies.
You would think that I would have recognized that with all my searching.
You would have just searched that way. That would have never been detected.
Oyo would have got through.
The elders wouldn't know what Oyo meant.
I think I checked in there and it was so bad I moved over to New York. Yeah,
that's great. So, how did you lose said 5 or 6K in the interim at the back end? Just kind of blasting because you had money in your pocket, or?
I think I played cash a little bit and like lost like 2K in a 5-10 game.
Okay.
And then I played, I think, blackjack bigger than I ever had and just went on the worst run ever.
Sure.
And I was like, I'm not leaving here with less than 30K. I remember telling myself that. I was like, that's my number. If you leave here with less than 30K, you're never gambling again. And anytime I tell myself a number in my whole gambling history, when I set a floor, I've never passed it.
But I bet you've always hit it.
I've always hit it. I hit it more often than I don't, but at least it's there. Yeah.
I did the same thing. The first time I very, not similar story or whatever. First tournament I played, I ended up chopping for like 40,000 or something like that. A little over 40, 45, I think. And I was like, I'm not, like, I want to play the World Series main event. Like, I had a job at this time. I was like, so 10,000 is going to be put aside for that. And I'm not touching 30,000 of this. So like, I'm going to fuck around with 5K. And I just sat there and played 10-20 for like 36 hours in a row, basically. And I was just like shot taking and nervous the entire time. I've never had a better feeling, but I left with slightly more than that. I think I left with like 42,000. So like, it's not like I didn't do well or anything.
That's how you don't hit a floor. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had this exact same mind thought. I was like, main event, bucket list, get it off there. Then I can go home, get married, pop out a couple babies, do the whole like Southern thing, that I'm supposed to do. But yeah, it was it was an exciting time.
Yeah, we haven't had Patrick Leonard on the pod yet, so I want to get the story from him. But I have heard him tell the story where when he got to his first million, he said, "I'm never going below this," to the point where he was like selling action for like $300 tournaments just to make sure that he was like on like the right, whatever number of buy-ins above his million. His new bankroll floor was $1 million.
Wow,
I was like, that's
pretty
sick. And I don't know, a little aggressive or anti-aggressive. What is that? Cuck, I think some would say. Prove me wrong, Patrick. Anyways, he's richer than God now, so that's fine.
It doesn't matter.
Just a quick break here, guys. Are you tired of playing with players like this? Not this.
No.
This? Or this?
Or do you want to play with players like this?
Oh, wait. If you like having fun at the poker table, Table 1 is the game for you. We play high stakes, no limit, 100 blinds. And if you want to get into the game, it's actually super easy. We have a website, table1.vegas. You just go to the website, you click get a seat in the game, and fill out the form. It's that easy. It's your name, it's your phone number, it's the date that you're here, and I will personally reach out to you.
And it's only $5K minimum buy-in. Run it up at 2.5 and join us. Well, that's fucking awesome. So were you in communication with your wife? I don't call her like a pseudo wife or whatever, because I know you guys had real love or whatever, but like, was this like, sorry.
We had real love or whatever.
Wait, do you?
No, I know you guys love each other, but you guys weren't into marriage.
Yes,
you guys did it
pseudo wife. I like where your head's at. I respect.
Now I feel like a big jerk.
No, pseudo wife is great.
Also, is she still with that other guy? Or?
Speaking of cucks.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Oh, God.
Oh, I'm so sorry. All right.
You shouldn't be.
So on the drive back to Idaho, how many times did you think about just turning around and, how long before you came back? I don't know. Is that where we're going?
I was basically like, was she aware that like you were going down to basically accomplish like, playing poker like in Vegas for the first time, came down with X bankroll, and you were going to come back with $30,000? Like, I mean,
yeah. At this point, I didn't really have an earmarked bankroll anymore because I haven't been playing for like a few years, right? So we had shared expenses, and I told her I'm taking this much down and see what happens. And yeah, so obviously I called her the night after the win, told her, and she was very happy for me and all that sort of thing. But we're not like separating bankroll at this point.
Okay.
But soon after I started to, and I'd go down to Vegas a little more and travel a little more, and then just snowballed into doing it full time again.
So when you say it's snowball, when to Art's question, like when was the next time? How far after your bank did you come back down?
Actually, the next time I came back down was for a job. I went for creative writing at Idaho State University as my major, and then I started my final summer. I started trying to get some sort of internship or something just to put it into practice, and stumbled upon a PokerNews ad, as they do every summer, looking for reporters. Contacted them, interviewed with Mr. one-time bracelet winner Chad Holloway, and we interviewed with him, and he brought me down. So I clicked the boxes that I know how to play all the games, which automatically puts you above most of the first-year reporters, and came down and worked all 7 weeks. Just really wanted to be in the mix of the WSOP, just be there, and hopefully make some contacts and figure out what it takes to play these events and meet all of my heroes. And I worked that full 7 weeks in Vegas. I don't think I played a single bracelet event just because I was so busy. But I played some poker on the side, cash games and stuff. And then a couple months later, PokerOrg poaches me. Brad Willis, legendary writer, brings me on to PokerOrg as a writer. Mm-hmm. And then I started working as their live events manager for managing the other reporters and stuff when we go out to live stops. So that kept me now in the poker industry and working in poker media for several years, which gave me a stable base while I continued to grow and play tournaments. So I always, during those years, had some sort of connection to poker media while I was trying to get better at poker tournaments.
Do you think, I know childhood trauma with the Jehovah's Witness stuff, but do you think like the structure and like the ability to just constantly outwork people helped you like kind of get to the top of that part of the industry to manage people? Media? Like being able to manage people and being able to like, I don't know. Do you give any credit to that for that part, or do you think?
Yeah, I give a lot of credit to that part. Being organized, being responsible, being able to handle pressure. When I worked in New York, I was a manager of that night crew of like 40 people at like 20 years old. So like a stupid amount of responsibility for a 20-year-old, but like I was responsible. I didn't, besides the double live thing that I was doing, I was in charge of things and handled it well. So I think as long as the bar is so low these days, you know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
For being somebody put in position of power or responsibility, like the bars, just don't be an idiot. Treat people well. Get your stuff done. Show up on time.
There you go.
Yeah. The bar is low to do well. And a lot of it is contacts and knowing people to get in the door. But once you're there, like it's not difficult these days with the work ethic of young people to stand out. You know?
Well said.
Well said.
Well
Yeah,
said.
I agree. All right. So when you go through this process and you get poached by PokerOrg and you kind of get this ability to kind of watch like a lot of good poker players and play on the side, improve your own game. Is there an overwhelming itch to just be like, look, I like writing. This is great, but I want to be on the other side of the camera, the other side of the notepad or something like that.
Yeah, it was always, even my first year, I'd rather be playing than working. Yeah. But I knew like there was a lot of value in working and you know, giving me that security, but I always wanted to play. And a lot of it came from like, these guys are terrible. Like you know what I mean? As you're writing hand history, it's like, what the hell is happening? This is a bracelet event?
Are you sure you got the hand history? Like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, I did. I tapped the guy on the shoulder and asked for his name and everything.
I was proud somehow.
Yeah, so I always wanted to play, but I've just always wanted to do everything. Like, I know you sacrifice a little bit of the opportunity to be elite when you do everything, but like I've wanted to play. So I want to work. I want to give back to the industry. Now I want to do this content creation project that I'm in. And I like diversity and I like keeping things exciting. And I always feel like I give 80% of myself to everything that I do because I'm doing 4 things at once. Right. But playing has always been my North Star, and everything else wants to be around that.
That's fantastic. All right. So you're focusing on tournaments a little bit more are you trying to, I know you said 80%, but like, are you, I don't know, when you start going down the tournament 80% rabbit hole or whatever, what was the tipping point? Because like you've had plenty of like really nice scores like along the way. Was there any like selling pieces or swapping or anything like that, or was this all you all the time?
All me all the time. I've never had a staker, never had a backer, always played with my own means. Every once in a while I'll sell some action to friends mostly, or for a big spot. Like the tipping point of like, oh, now my bankroll is good enough that I could do this full time was probably my score at Thunder Valley, which was late August 2024. That's right. 192K, and it was a $2,500 buy-in, and I think I sold like 30% or something like that.
Yeah, you beat, was it Lee Markholt heads up?
Lee Markholt was
he's a legend.
Yeah, that table was stacked.
Yeah, like Patterson was there.
Tyler Patterson on my left.
Like Jaffe was there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Jaffe hates me so much. I run
hates himself.
I run so pure against Jaffe. I've just held it over him, and I always get it in fairly bad, and I always win. It's so good.
Isn't it nice to have someone like that you can just like always be confident against, no matter like, well, even if he calls and I'm behind, like, probably gonna get there.
Hi, Nail. I'm Hammer.
Yeah, they don't come around that often, but it's nice to hold over someone.
Yeah, but that was a nice score. You said 192. I think that sounds right. Anyway,
yeah, 192, and then that was my first like big score, and then from then on, I've just sun-run for a year and a half. To be honest, like since that score, when I'm playing very, very stress-free and not worried about the money and just like playing my game, everything I touch has turned to gold for the last year and a half.
I think it was between that score that you reached out and came and played at table 1. Yes.
Yeah. That was a fun time. Neither one of you guys were there, which I was really sad about.
I agree.
Well, it gets busy sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll tell this story, which I hope you guys will appreciate. That night at table 1, I had a great time, by the way. And Gunnis was the game runner.
Oh, yeah.
Day.
Paul G. Yep.
And Chino was on my direct left. Sashimi was on my direct right. And
how are we not there? This game sounds great.
It was a great game. And I played like 60% VPIP Maniac. And I doubled through Chino once for like a 30K pot or something when I have jacks on the river and he goes all in on like a king high board. And I think for a while, and I called and he's like, I knew you had jacks. And I doubled through him and my money was in play. Like, I'm going to give this back if I stay, or at least I'm gambling. I'm giving tons of action. I want to get an invite back. I want to impress these people. And Gunnis told me that you can play for the first 2.5 or 3 hours, whatever it was, and then we have somebody else coming in.
Okay.
This is my first time there. He doesn't know who I am or how.
Sure. Yeah. I'm sure it was via our instructions, which now I apologize for.
No. I told him I'm totally okay with that. I have shit to do, but I just want to come in, play for a few hours, meet some people, and I'll give some action. And then, so 3 hours go by, and I cash out with more than I came with. And I had to use the restroom, and I leave the restroom, and Chino is like yelling at Gunnis. I can't
Why
hear.
would you pick that guy up?
I can't hear what he's saying, but I can only assume he's like, "How dare you let him leave the game?" Which I understood. I didn't take offense to that because I was playing like an idiot and just having fun. And I was like, I wouldn't have picked me up either, but bye, guys.
Honestly, you should feel proud about that moment. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like all kinds of pressure. Like, now that we have our own game, different. But like when I used to get invited to private games, I was like, I have to show up for this. Anything streamed, I was like, all right, don't be a tight jerk or anything like that. Like that's where my drinking when I played poker started. Because the first time I got invited to poker night or whatever, I can't remember the first one, Poker After Dark. And it was just like, oh God, I don't want to look like some tight pro or something like that. And I was like, fuck it. And I just went to the bar and I just chugged 3 beers and like ran to the table.
That's a solid.
I mean, I won a good amount or whatever. And I was like, oh shit, did I win too much? And like the producer was like, oh, you did great. You played every single hand. I was like, yay. Probably to my detriment. Like, I just got invited back like a lot.
Of course.
Which was still good. Like, don't get me wrong. But then it was just like the pressure of like, well, I know they like drunk Justin. Drunk Justin wins. So I have to be drunk, basically.
Follow the formula.
Sorry, Mom.
That's been my strategy. I played a lot of stream games, and I always want to just put on a show. It's entertainment, and I hope I win, but like I don't expect to. But the worst thing than being a loser is being uninvited, or being put on some blacklist to me. And so I just go in just knowing this is entertainment, and hopefully I get to build a pretty good reputation for myself on these stream games, and then go take it to the tournaments and get paid off all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're on this Sun run.
Yeah. I was curious, how's your bankroll management during this? I know you hit like a handful of like 6-figure scores, and we'll get to the big one in a second. But like, were you I know in cash games you said you were a shot taker, but like, were you like kind of like shot taking in tournaments, like playing like 10Ks when your bankroll is only 100K, or playing 25Ks when you're
definitely not.
Okay.
No. I'm like, I think 1Ks, 1500s was my big buy-ins, even after the 192K score.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, I was being real responsible. And it just like, I felt comfortable at that level, and bracelet events were the exception. Sometimes I would fire. I played the main event for the first time in 2023, and then we'll play it every year for the rest of my life. But yeah, my ABI were still like 400s, 600s, 1700s. I like the circuit, that sort of thing. So, nothing crazy, but now my shot takes were like, in November that year, PokerStars came, NAPT came, and I played that main and that sort of thing. So nothing crazy. Yeah.
And you got what's first in that, second in that? I can't remember.
Second.
Yeah, for like 100 dimes.
Yeah, that was November 2025. I went in November 2024 and did pretty well. And when NAPT first came, but again, I have a bigger bankroll than I ever have. And then I get into slots in January 2024. I never touched a slot machine.
Oh no.
And then
interviewed Alan Kessler on Pook.
I just watched your Kessler one. When he won that 1.2 and he said another group played for 27 hours. I was in that group.
Okay.
Me and Stapleton trauma bonded over a 27-hour.
I like it.
27-hour slot machine there. So I was funny listening to that story, because I wonder if he was going to tell who he passed that machine off to.
He doesn't see people.
No, so I get into slots in January 2024. I'm in Horseshoe Tunica with Chance Corneth and Tana Karn. And they're like, let's go on a group slot poll and play some Buffalo. Literally the first slot machine I've ever played. We each put in a few hundred, whatever. And we're supposed to be playing $10 per spin. And Chance's fat finger hits 50. And the first spin, we hit a bonus.
Oh,
and we win like 18K.
All right.
Off a $50 bet. And then we proceed to hit jackpot after jackpot. I think I left Tunica about even in poker and up like 40K in slots.
And you were chopping action with the other guys?
No, we chopped that first 15 and I played the rest of the week by myself.
Reroll.
I don't need you guys.
No, I mean, we were sometimes when we were together, we were hanging out. I just literally every slot I played, I won. Which again, this has been a history in my career with gambling. When I try something new, it just works. Mm-hmm. Or when I shot take for a bigger buy-in than I've ever played, it runs better than I ever could have imagined, just over and over and over again.
beginner's luck. Just keep moving up where they respect your luck.
When I fall in love with a girl and she has a boyfriend, we get married.
This isn't a long-term thing. I bring up slots because in NAPT, I had a decent series in 2024, but then I played a couple slots. I hit like a 35K jackpot and then a 65K jackpot at NAPT, which combined was like another 100K to the bankroll. And then then 2025, I have, like you said, another couple big scores. I come back to NAPT and get second place in the main event, which was the toughest 1K I've ever played, by the way. And the NAPT PokerStars Open Main was like every Vegas reg was there.
I agree.
I was reading.
I was there. And it was,
I was reading the updates on that one, and I mean, you got heads up with a big chip lead, right? And then he.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, chug that, and then tell me about that experience and how it motivated you to.
It felt like that was going to be my first like big victory and get a spadey and all that. I had a 2-1 chip lead, and I ran in like absolute hot trash garbage. Heads up, as no complaints because I ran really, really good to get there, and then just hit a wall. And we had like a 6-hour heads up match, played till 4 a.m. or something like that, and eventually got it in bad and lost.
Can't say you didn't give it your all. 6-hour heads up match. I mean,
it was long because we were super deep at the end. So I think we were like 60 bigs effective heads up at the start of that match.
That was pretty deep.
Yeah. Second place there, and then Bahamas was right after that.
Bahamas, I've heard of it. What happened there?
Well, okay. Before we get into that, sorry, just this is my own curiosity. So how is? Sorry, I keep going back to this. Like, how is married life? Is it, or whatever? What's going on there? Because like this is a wild and crazy ride that you're on. To your point, like you sun run for 18 months essentially. Like, is she with you every step of the way? Is she like coming down to visit? Is like
she hates Vegas and she hates gambling.
Okay,
so she's not coming down to visit, and she was very rarely going to any poker stops. But I was. She kind of wanted to know that I was being responsible. And so I was tracking everything, tracking every buy-in and expense. And so she could see it if she wanted to, but she didn't want to hear about it on a daily basis.
Okay.
Like the losing 1K in a poker game was like, she's very risk averse. She's quite the opposite of me. And she got the safe, stable job. And I've just been volatile my whole life.
Or we call it complimentary.
Exactly.
But still, that's tough. Like, I mean, someone you love and have been with for a few years, and like you're not allowed really to kind of share your highs and lows with this person. That's kind of tough. I mean, I would think it would.
She'll take it. Like if I need to talk, she'll talk. And the highs, she definitely wants to hear about.
Sure.
It's that when I bust 12 bullets in a row, and it's like she doesn't want to hear I just lost 30K.
Right. Why didn't you quit poker at your peak?
Exactly.
I don't know what my peak is.
Just getting started here. But yeah, no, she was nothing but supportive. A couple rough spots where like I ran when I had a huge downswing and the bankroll was lower than ever been before. I didn't want to talk to her about it because I knew she wouldn't react well. So we had to get through that. Better communication during times when I needed support and that sort of thing. But
you
besides that,
she's a doctor though, right?
Yeah.
Sure, it's all right. That's fine.
I mean, that makes the finances better, right? But you never want to be the guy that's just like wasting all the family's money or anything like that.
That is how I like my doctors, though. Risk adverse. That's nice.
That is true.
Hey, I've never tried this. It goes.
This has an 80% chance of success. All right, you're going under.
80% sounds good unless you're a poker player.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's right. All right, so yeah, let's get into the big score. I mean, it's a big score by anyone's
spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry.
Let's go to the Bahamas where anything can happen.
No, okay, yeah. So it makes it sound like you were doing traveling, but kind of like localized traveling for the most part. What convinced you to go down to the Bahamas? Was this the first time down there? Or?
No, I'd been down there, but never to play.
Okay.
This was my first time going as a player. And honestly, that entire year, 2025, I was chasing the EPT leaderboard. Mm-hmm. I played all over Europe all of 2025.
I did want to bring that up too, because like one of my favorite results you have is like you went to the Irish Open and whatever, 4th or 5th or whatever. I can't remember what you got or whatever, but like I've always wanted to go. I don't know. We've had a few guests that are highly touting how great that tournament is.
I can't believe you've never been.
I'm very upset with myself. But it'll happen at some point in my life. But how was that? Because like I want to hear about the experience to like even force myself even more to want to go.
When you go, I'm coming with you, and we're just going to party all week long.
Okay.
But it like the main event, when I went, I said I'll go here every year for the rest of my life. It is unlike anywhere else I've ever been. The buy-ins aren't huge. You're talking like 1Ks and stuff is the standard. But everyone's drunk from first break. Like Guinness, there's 7 bars within 30 feet, and the crack den out back is where they have a party every single night. Think like PokerStars Player Party, the big one, but it's happening every night out back. And they have darts contests and watch parties and karaoke nights and lip sync contests and anything you could think of is happening. And it's just a big party and poker happens around it.
Right.
And
do you think they have Me and My Buddy on the karaoke? Me and My Buddy.
Yeah, if they don't, we're going to request.
We might get Hoodie Allen out there with us. Hell
yeah.
Oh, I like Hoodie a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've met Hoodie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We've been on 2 or 3 stream things together.
Nice.
He last minute canceled on us for the pod one time, so we're gonna get him.
Okay. He actually said he's gonna do it. I'm in semi contact. I check in every couple months.
I hope so. I would love to watch that. Yeah.
Oh my god, I'd be geeking out. All right. So tell the viewership, or when is the Irish Open every year?
Irish Open happens in the spring every year. I hate to commit to dates here. I think it's because it just overlapped with WSOP Europe, which was really sad. Like late April, early May, I believe.
All right.
Yeah. And yeah, if you've never gone, you should go. It's an expensive city. Dublin is one of the most expensive European cities, so just expect that. But the poker is fantastic. The people are fantastic. Everyone's drunk and partying and having a good time. So if that's your vibe, it's the place to be.
All right. Now we have a good lead in. All right, you're chasing the EPT Player of the Year. What before we go down to the Bahamas? Do you remember kind of where you were in the rankings?
Yeah, well, after Irish Poker Open, I was number 1. And they have 3 different levels. So you have small, medium, big, and I was chasing the medium, which was anything between 1K and 5K. So I literally played every event that was in that buy-in level, always just trying to grind this. And
is there a prize pool benefit to this? Or?
Yeah, the first place in each category gets a package for 2026, which is like 10K for small, 26K for medium, 100K for big. So it's not huge compared to the buy-ins that you're playing, but it's break back.
It's a notch in the belt as well. I mean, shit.
Yeah, exactly. But the big thing is the top 10 in each category get to interview to be a PokerStars ambassador.
Oh shit, that's huge.
That's valuable.
Right. That's actual.
That's what I was actually hoping for. That's I think worth at least 100K in buy-ins and salary, and then being an ambassador carries its own weight with it. So that's what I was chasing. So after Ireland, I was number 1. Because I went to Campione, Italy as well and did pretty well there. So those 2 series got me first place. And then I skipped all the summer series because I was at WSOP. I think there was 2 festivals in the summer that I missed. And I dropped out of number 1. I was like number 4 or something. And I was like, I guess I'm chasing this for the rest of the year. And so I attend every PokerStars festival, kind of on behalf of PokerOrg. I'm doing some work while I'm there as well, but I'm playing everything. And I end up doing pretty poorly in Malta and a couple of the fall series. I do pretty poorly and I fall just outside of the top 10. I'm like 12th.
Okay.
So I have 2 series left, which is EPT Prague and Cannes to close out the year. I'm like, if I just get 1 or 2 cashes, I'm probably going to slip into the top 10. And now I think if I can, I have a better than equal chance of getting the PokerStars ambassador role just because I'm a little well known in the industry and had some good scores recently. And I know all the people in the PokerStars leadership. Like if I can just get in the top 10 and get this interview, I think I got a pretty good shot. So my plan is to go to EPT Prague in December and not Bahamas. The thing that got me to the Bahamas is the Paradise Parlay, which I qualified for.
Okay. For the listener, what's that?
WSP offered a promotion based on your performance over the year. There's 3 ways to qualify for the Paradise Parlay. You get 7 cashes in bracelet events that year, win a bracelet, or cash the main event.
Oh.
I did 2 of those things. I did not win a bracelet, but I qualified. So it was extra money infused, separate from the prize pool, into the Bahamas main event, super main event, where if you qualify and you cash, they just give you an extra $25,000.
Yeah.
If you final table, they give you an extra 100K. And if you win, they give you an extra 250K. So it's a 26K buy-in. So a min cash in WSOP is double. So min cash is 50. But for me, a min cash was 75.
Yeah, right.
That combined with Luxon was offering a promotion for first-time Bahamas players. If you have 50K in direct buy-ins, they just hand you $5,000. No questions asked.
So you're kind of your hotel and all that stuff is kind of free.
Well, my hotel's covered because I work for PokerOrg, and they provide hotels for media.
All right, this is really
so your pockets are full.
So it's just the rake back, like the double min cash if you cash, and then $5K bonus, 10% rake back, just because Luxon was offering this promotion that nobody knew about. But
that's tough to turn down. Holy cow! So
I like abandoned my PokerStars ambitions, and I'm like, let's go play a 25K for the first time in my life.
Did you play any other events, or was this just like a sole visit for the big one?
I played the Circuit Championship, which was the opening event, $2,750 buy-in, and min cashed that. It was a mystery bounty, and I min cashed that. That was basically all the circuit ring winners win a package to the Bahamas. Right. You get an entry into that event, and then your hotel covered. So I played with those guys, and then worked for the rest of the series until the Super Main, and I was definitely playing one bullet. And probably playing two, depending on how I felt. That was my plan. I'm definitely firing once.
Only one, but I'll keep an extra 25 just in case.
Well, honestly, the tax situation in America, I was not planning on playing poker as much in 2026 this year. I was like, this is going to be an end-of-year soiree for me.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to play bigger than I ever have. If it works out, awesome. If it doesn't, no big deal, because I'm not super worried about the bankroll, because I'm not going to play as much in 2026. I'm going to focus on work. So I was kind of free to not really care what the result was.
And you mentioned in the past you had sold action, but you were kind of on a run. Were you selling action to this package, or how did it go?
I did sell for the 25K. This was kind of like determining whether I was going to play the second bullet is how much I sold. But also the Paradise Parlay didn't matter when you cashed it. So it was just as good the second time as long as I wanted to.
Oh, that's good.
I sold 10% to Josh Aurier, 10% to Dean Eggs.
Some lucky people, yes.
I've heard of these people.
Both of them really needed that money. 8% to Joe Stapleton. No, sorry. Not Joe.
Oh, wow. Joe's going to be really upset.
It wasn't Joe. Sorry, not Joe. Who was it? Oh, Jeff Platt. 8%
fuck that guy.
8% to Jeff Platt and 5% to Tana Karn.
Okay.
All right.
So I had 66% of myself. All right. And fired the first bullet and busted on day one when I ran a straight into a flop full house. And then that was like the first day, because they had like 4 days you could buy in. So I played on Wednesday or Thursday, whatever it was, and then took a couple days off to see how I felt, and then fired the final flight for my second bullet.
Did you show up on time for the last one? Okay. So kind of take us through it just a little bit. Like we say it all the time on this show. I think making a deep run in a tournament, there's literally no better feeling. The focus, the attention, the adrenaline, like all the words. How much did you bag the first day? And we'll go from there.
I don't even remember. I think it was about average.
Okay.
I don't remember what that number
You weren't
is.
short or you weren't big.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't really have any scares first day. It was just very easy. First day was very easy, and I bagged about average. Yeah.
All right. And take me through the run. Like I want to hear all of it. I honestly love hearing the emotions people feel like on the way through.
And everybody's different too, because some people don't remember. They black out and they just wire to wire and it's done. And some people have a really good memory. So what is it for you?
This was day two was a lot of fun. I started off with a couple of cool people at the table. I played with Jason Mercier, who I'd never played with before. And then Sean Deeb, Jason busts and Sean takes the spot, Sean Deeb. And I play a big hand with Sean on day two that PokerNews got on video. And I just love watching this back. It's so great. Sean still needles me about this hand to this day, and he takes every opportunity to criticize me. And I remember the hand. I opened 10-8 of diamonds in middle position, and Sean 3-bets the small blind, pretty small, like 3x out of position. And we're like 35 effective or something like that. And I decided to peel against Sean with 10-8 of diamonds, and the flop is 4-5-6 with 2 diamonds. And I'm like, well, this is
worse. There's worse flops.
Yeah. Sean covers me, and he bets big on the flop, and I raise, and we just get it all in on the flop. And the video, just Sean looks at when I turn over my hand, and Sean's face like how is that hand here?
We're supposed to have 2 10s.
Yeah, exactly.
8-10.
And he has 2 kings, by the way.
Yeah.
No diamond, and just bink a black 7 on the turn, and just make I'm free roll into it. I can't lose. And Sean's left with like 4 bigs, 5 bigs, and he busts shortly after. So if I lose that hand, like none of this happens. I don't even make the money. Sure. So that was like key, super pivotal hand. Now I double up, and I'm like, definitely, this was a few levels before the money, something like that. And now I have 70 bigs or something.
Sure.
Right? So from then on day 2, every time I go on break, I go back and talk to my PokerOrg people in the media room. How much you got? How much you got? Every time the number's bigger. And eventually one day, like late day 2, I got 5 million or something like that. Like, what? You have
that
5
sounds like
million?
a number.
Yeah, exactly. So I go into, I make the money, cash my extra 25K.
Yeah.
And then day 3 is not so smooth. And I think I end up bagging, well, at this point, again, there's a legend at every table.
Sure.
People that like, I can't believe I'm sitting next to this guy and playing a 25K. This is a dream come true for me. And I'm in the money, and I feel like I'm free rolling from then on, to be honest. Like, this is the results I wanted. I got the extra money, and now anything that happens is a bonus. And I play with guys like Martin Cabral for half an hour. I got to share the table with him, and this is a fairly quick tournament for a 25K. Like day 3, we're getting close to the final few tables. Martin busts, and now I'm looking around, and there's 27 left, and it's just like, holy, like this is the holy shit moment.
Yeah.
But we're playing till 3 a.m. every day.
Oh Christ. Okay, that sounds terrible, but all right.
So I don't have time to think
Yeah.
about the spot that I'm in. I'm getting off, trying to shut the adrenaline down, going to sleep, waking up, starting over. Like there's no studying, there's no thinking, there's no worrying. It's just like showing up, and keep grinding. And I end up grinding like 20 bigs all the way to the final 2 tables. I never have a huge stack again. And then with one of my favorite hands that will get played forever is the slow roll with Wasserson and Benny. And I'm at the table with both of them. The hand starts with me opening up pocket 7s on the button. And Wasserson 3-bets the small blind with aces. And then Benny 4-bet jams ace queen suited.
I watch all this coverage, by the way.
Yeah.
2 tables.
And I fold pocket 7s, obviously. And then Benny does not snap, or Wasserson does not snap.
Yeah.
Thanks for uses full time. And then says, oh, I guess I have to put it in. And then calls, flips over his aces. And Benny goes, all Benny says to his credit is just, really? Really?
Didn't someone say, or maybe it was Was, said like, I was just trying to get you the extra like pay jump or something like that? Was that a real thing?
He did not say those words. He said, I think I just had to put it in. I think I just had to put it in there. That's all he says in the moment. There was rumors about like, well, maybe he was trying to help him out because there was a decent pay jump and he used his full time, and then that was not what
if I'm trying to help my buddy out by like extending all my time banks or whatever in the biggest tournament where I might need him later on, I'm at least going to look at my buddy and it's like,
I got it.
I'm going to do the best shack.
Yeah.
No,
apparently no one knows what that means when you call it off with kings anyway.
No kidding. That's one of the more uncomfortable hands I've ever seen in my life. We talk about a lot on this pod. So you were there for that. Like I said, I literally watched the covers from 2 tables all the way down. JNT is a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Like
Mr. Final Table.
My God, he's a fucking treat. But yeah, like at any point where you're just like kind of like pay jump hunting a little bit, just kind of like looking over your shoulder and like, wow, this is a lot of money.
Real
if
money.
I just like close my eyes and fold for half an hour.
I honestly did not want to do that.
Yeah.
I feel like if I had a regret in that tournament, it was going to be playing differently than what got
opposite
me there.
way.
Yeah. If I was played super scared. So I put it in some spots that maybe I could have passed on. I put it in with ace queen against Benny's ace queen, which was a spot that I might have been able to fold pre, but it happened to work out. I almost got free rolled into a loss in that one.
Yeah.
But the one hand that was probably too tight that I did play a little scared was against Natasha Mercier when I opened 10-9 of hearts on the button. She 3-bets small from the small blind to less than 3x with Jack-7 of diamonds. And then I call, and the flop is 10-8-5 with 1 heart. And then she 2.5x overbet rips the flop for almost all of my chips with 14 players left.
I mean, that is terrifying.
And
like, I know the hands, and I still think I want to fold. That's fine.
Yeah. I thought I had the best hand, but I'm like, I've got chips.
Yeah.
Looking around here, like I can make this final table. If I call this off and I'm wrong, I'm out. And I was like, I don't know her well enough. I know she does crazy shit sometimes. I thought she just bluffed Benny off a full house with like 8 deuce offsuit for no reason whatsoever. I didn't see that hand yet, and if I had, I'd probably call here. But I mean, I think I'm supposed to call in that spot in a vacuum, and that's one that I did pass on because of how big the spot was for me.
All right. Well, it kind of worked out. I would say. For the fans, what place did you get, and how much money did they give you?
The fourth place, and they gave me $3.1 million.
Not just the $3 million
because of the Paradise Parlay.
Extra $100K parlay.
And that money was in my WSOP app within 15 minutes of busting.
Little chills.
You're like, how do I transfer it to my friends that had a piece?
I want to go buy a Guinness. Hey, look. Do you take WSOP credits? Oh man, that's chilling.
And your rail for that final table is like all of media, basically. Just like was Josh and D-Negs there?
Neither of them were there. Everybody had left.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking. $3 million.
Yeah, you think they
shit on like 300,000?
Everybody kind of had left the Bahamas, right? Yeah. Once you get down to that point, so there's hardly anybody there, and the media people are in a weird spot because they're supposed to be
objective
and not rooting for anybody. So most of my friends are media people, and
TJ Reid plays the hand amazing.
Absolutely putting on a clinic.
Like run to the rail, yeah. Run to the side, I'm like.
Yeah, so it was I imagine a big rowdy rail in a spot like that, and it was kind of muted. I got some cheers, and Ben Ludlow was one who was not in the media, and he was cheering for me big time, which I loved. But they reserved all of that celebration for the post bust out party at the bar in the Bahamas, which very reasonably priced bar out there.
Not after you.
Every banana is only $15, guys.
That $100K went to good use. I got you.
Yeah, that's about right.
Whatever. Like, congrats. I think that's super cool. Like, any big score is great, but like, I don't know, when you get to say million after the number, that's fucking sexy as shit. I was going to ask if it changed your life, but I don't think it really did. Like, I'm just in talking to you and like kind of getting to know you a little bit, but you're welcome to answer that if you want to. But you seem kind of like the same guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I try to be and will never change who I am. As far as like change life or lifestyle creep or stuff like that, I haven't really changed much. The one thing that I have changed is I'm less concerned about impulsive buys that I think will really benefit me and change my life for the better. Which isn't much, by the way. I'm upgrading my patio right now. We're installing a patio and a hot tub and maybe a putting green and stuff like that. But then I like to do good stuff for my friends and just like go out to nice meals and buying a few people into the main event who has been their dream to play the main event. So I'm staking them this year and stuff like that. Like that's how it changes me. Right. But my people are asking me like, what have you done with the money, or what are you going to change? Or are you going to be firing much bigger these days? And like, grinding the circuit still. But I do work for WSOP and I'm going out to all the circuit stops and stuff.
I was going to say, most people have a life-changing, a giant score like that. The first thing you think isn't, I got a new job.
Yeah. I was considering retiring and now I'm working more than I ever have.
Yeah, I guess tell us a little bit about that job, how that happened. The WSOP circuit events manager?
WSOP circuit manager, and started in February this year. In November, actually, they reached out to me and was like, soft probing, because we have a good relationship. PokerOrg had a good relationship with WSOP, and they didn't want to like ruin that, right?
Repoach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But guys over in the operation team reached out. Hey, we're kind of building this new role with the GG takeover for the circuit. Are you interested? Or like, would you like to hear details? And I was like, yeah, I'll always hear details. Like, I'm never going to close the door before I hear what's behind it. And they said, all right. And we started talking a little bit, and it seemed like a good fit. But they're like, yeah, Bahamas is coming up. We're all super busy. Let's just get through the Bahamas, and we'll pick this back up on the other side. So I would start making this deep run, and I see all these guys every day, all the operations team, and I was like, you should have inked that deal, baby.
Number go up.
Should have signed that contract. So they're somewhat anti-sweating me because they have me pigeonholed for this role. And, I finished and we picked up, I met the CEO out there and I interviewed with some people and they all thought I'd be a good fit. And on the other side, now I just have to ask myself if this is still something I want to do with my time now that I need to do it less than ever. But the answer was like, I know if I just stop working, I'm going to feel unfulfilled. I feel like I'm too young. I don't want to just quit everything. And I kind of still like being part of poker. And now I want to go from the media to the operator side for the first time and just live that life for a little bit and try to get back to the game in that way. So we picked up negotiations, and now I can just like basically, I didn't ask for anything unreasonable, but I just said, here's what I want to be happy. And like part of it was very predicated on I still get to play. I would never take a job that would stop me from being able to play. And so we worked out something where basically somewhat of a player ambassador. My main goal is to grow the circuit, to sign new stops. So a little bit of sales there, working with venues who want to get the circuit and making that happen. So we've signed some new stops, like we're going out to Talking Stick for the first time. Got an additional stop up at Turning Stone, which they've needed for a long time because it's a massive stop. Going out to Toledo, Ohio, TCH Austin. So we're trying to grow the circuit, and that's my job. And then keep our partners happy, but also more consistent across the board, make sure structures are good. So I'm working with structures and scheduling as well. And then being a little bit of a player ambassador, where one criticism people have sometimes of the WSOP is it's hard to get an answer. It's hard to know, if there's a problem, something, who do I reach out to? Who do I talk to? I'm yelling into the void. So people hiring people like me and Jeff Platt, we're encouraged to be more interactive, use our social platforms. People can tag us and ask us questions. And if we don't know the answer, we'll find somebody who does. So
Kev Math.
Yeah. Kev Matt doesn't even work for WSOP, and he's the most.
He's just the GOAT.
Yeah.
He knows the answer. He's
amazing.
I love Kev Matt.
He's poker's Google.
Yeah, he's wonderful. We take him for granted sometimes, but we never. If you see Kev Matt this summer, give him $100.
That's right.
Yeah.
First time you see him, give him 100. That's I think who installed that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Keep the tradition going. With inflation, make it 120.
There you go. 100 and a haircut.
So whatever. Going forward with this new job, what's on the horizon? Let's talk about future, TJ.
I'm going to keep working for the WSOP and on the circuit. So I'm going to be playing a lot of circuit events just because they want me to be there. They want me to interact with players, see how the events are actually running, talk to the casino managers and the venues, make sure they're happy, just be a little more interactive. It's easy to, run a circuit from your office in Las Vegas, but actually being out on the field with the players is the best way to do it. So I want to be on the road as much as possible and be playing stateside more than ever and playing at circuits more than ever. That said, in the summer, no circuits are running, so I get to just play. And not that I'm not working anymore. There's plenty of admin stuff to do in preparation for the second half, but there's no circuits, so I'm going to play a fuller schedule than I ever have at the WSOP.
Well, I think, I know this is going to come out a few weeks later, but I know I think the fantasy draft is tonight, I believe.
It is, yep.
So let's so people can feel good if they actually drafted you on the back end or whatever. Tell the camera in the future or whatever, kind of how big of a slate are you trying to run?
Well, he's got a team too.
Yeah, I'm drafting a team tonight.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for the first time.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's okay.
You and Battistone, right?
Yeah, me and Battistone and a few others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea of how many teams this year? Because I feel like it keeps on growing and growing and growing.
I set the over-under at 25 and a half.
Okay.
And also, you don't have to do this, but this is coming out in many, many weeks. You could actually give us some of your sleepers here, and we can see how they perform. I'll not tell anyone.
Yeah. Our strategy. We just actually had a draft strategy meeting yesterday before that party I told you about. It's me, Battistone, and John Wasnock are three of the people on the investor team, and we'd all like to draft ourselves. As so many people.
I like that. Some personal responsibility.
Yeah. And we're all planning on playing an absolutely full schedule and bigger than ever before and only WSOP. So because we don't have the track record and we've never been drafted before, I think we're going to go for sub 10, all three of us combined probably.
So, and again, this is in the future and I promise I won't tell anybody. What's your strategy? Because I know there's some strategy you kind of let all the big names go off, let everyone kind of get down to the nitty gritty and then throw I guess myself for $1, I guess myself for $2, whatever. And you can kind of go through that way, or you can just do it early where no one's even really paying attention. They're waiting for the big names and just kind of throw in yourself for a couple bucks and think everyone's just kind of going to sleep on it.
Yeah, I think we consider that. I think it's a mistake to nominate yourself anytime before the very end, just because I think people are sharp enough that they know you want yourself and they're going to bid up the price, which I'm actually worried about somebody nominating me.
Right.
For that purpose rather than me nominating myself. So I'm hoping I don't come off early and I'm one of the last picks.
Okay. Yeah. No, I've been able to be a drafter twice, and that was very much my strategy. I was just as soon as I saw it was more of a poker game than anything else. It was I don't even want this guy, but I know he wants this person or whatever. And it was just one more, and just stare at him one more. And then just be and just kind of wait and be okay, I didn't even want you for $10.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
We built a system where we have our target points, how many points we think you need to win, and then we're basically slating like $10 for the 3 of us, and then we have $190 to spend on 5 people. And we, looking back, the top person, whoever gets bid for the most, like it's going to be Deeb this year, has never been, rarely on the winning team. Hardly ever happens. So even though we have a lot of economy or a lot of money left after the 3 of us planned, we still are not targeting plus $100 players. Most of the winners come from people, if you're drafting a bunch of $30, $40, $50, $60 players. Those are our targets. And then after that, like nomination strategy, it doesn't matter too much because like you get 1 nomination every 24 players. Right. It doesn't matter that much. But my strategy is always nominate somebody that I don't want to drain the economy, drain the system, like let them
overrated players,
exactly,
not overrated in like skill wise, but overrated budget wise.
Yeah, and this is people will disagree with this, but I don't want Phil Ivey, for example.
Of course not.
But he's going to go for a lot of money, and sometimes he'll show up and put up a ton of points like he did last year, and sometimes he will play 2 bracelet events.
Victor Bloom, like whatever. Yeah. We can go down the rabbit hole of like people that are probably going to be overpriced, I think, this year. But,
I want 8 guys that I know are playing a full schedule no matter what. Yeah. Sometimes you're going to hit on the Victor Blooms or the Michael Mizrakis. And the guys are just like going for a few dollars because we're taking a flyer. Maybe there's some inside information there where, Victor told this guy I'm playing everything, and I don't have that information. That's okay. But like my strategy is I want 8 guys I can count on that's going to put in full volume. And hopefully they put up some points.
Well, shit, man. Well, good luck with that. That's for sure. I know it's, I think it's the first year we haven't had a piece, or I haven't had a piece in probably a decade, in all honesty. So I got a little bit of FOMO right now, but I don't know.
Not too late. You got 4 hours to build a strategy.
Yeah. We could always go to Poker Stakes, which I love that Josh RA does that stuff. So we could even buy a team, part of like No Gamble, No Future if we wanted to, which we have in like, I think the last like 4 or 5 years we've done that. But either way, I just think the whole event is super fun. I'm glad that whether it was D-Negs or someone else like organized it, I can't remember, but like it's a fantastic idea, and I'm glad that we're embracing it. And I'm glad ODB is doing the lowercase version of it as well, which is going to get over $1 million, I think, prize pool.
Yeah, it's grown every year. He keeps saying like, I'm tempering expectations. I know it's eventually going to go down, and that's not this year. It will not.
No, no. It's gonna be excess of $1 million. I think.
I think so too. I'm excited to be part of the draft myself. I've been in the room for the last 2 years, covering it with media, and now to be able to draft a team is really cool. Shout out to ODB who does that, but I got to shout out my PokerOrg people too, because they do a free fantasy free roll.
Oh, all right.
Using the exact same system that ODB has, without a bonus player. So if you want to play fantasy and you don't have $500 for ODB and you don't have $25K for the draft, but you want to be a part of it, they give 1 free entry to everybody, and with some prizes up top and stuff. And they get thousands of teams on there as well. So especially if you do ODB, copy your team and just go enter there. It's a free roll.
So yeah, let's what are your socials? This is usually Art's part.
Yeah, where can the people follow the WSOP circuit director?
Where can they bother you with their questions about why the structure isn't? Why they lost Queen?
Where can Alan Kessler tell you to fix it? I've got a lot of
Alan Kessler DMs over the last 6 months.
Slid right in there, did he? All right.
Instagram TJ Reid 1. Twitter is TJ Reid Poker. And then YouTube is the big thing I'm trying to push these days, because I'm doing daily vlogs all summer long, like I did last year. I call the channel Torching with TJ. If you just search TJ Reid Poker on YouTube, it'll be up there.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you for doing this, dude. You're awesome.
Really appreciate it.
And good luck tonight in the draft.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me. Cheers.
Me and my buddy, we making all of this money. Yeah, I know it's rude to be bragging. They never catching us slacking. Me and my buddy,